Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Sometimes a single tragic event can force us to ask some really big questions. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. A tragedy in Chittagong that's about so much more than just one moment.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. 5. That's the number. 5 lives gone in an instant.
Okay, so what actually happened here? How did this fatal collision go down? Let's deconstruct it, because honestly, this crash was completely preventable.
Right, so where did this happen? We're talking about Chittagong, specifically in the city gate area.
And when you really break it down, the cause is just shockingly simple. On one side, you have a speeding pickup van. On the other, a covered van that wasn't even moving. It was stationary. The whole thing is just tragically straightforward. And that's what makes it so tough to swallow, right? This wasn't some complicated, unavoidable accident. It was the direct result of one driver's actions.
And the human cost didn't even stop with those 5 deaths. 3 other people were injured. So in total, you're looking at 8 people directly impacted by this single collision. Just devastating.
But here's the thing. This crash, as awful as it is, isn't just a one-off. It's really more of a repeated warning. So let's zoom out for a second, beyond this single incident, and look at the bigger, much more frustrating pattern that's going on here.
After tragedies like this, you hear the same thing from people over and over again. It's the sense of deep frustration, this feeling of this issue just comes up again and again. It's like being stuck on a horrible merry-go-round of crisis, talk, and then nothing changes.
And there's actually a term for this whole problem. It's called transport insecurity. And what that really means is, well, it's not just bad luck. It's a constant state of high risk. And it exists because the systems, the rules, the regulations, the things that are supposed to keep people safe are failing.
So, when you have a systemic failure like this, what happens next? Well, inevitably, people call for action. And it's interesting, whenever this conversation comes up, the solutions people suggest, they almost always fall into one of 2 different paths to safety.
And these are the 2 big ones you always hear about. On one hand, people demand stronger law enforcement, get tougher, be more consistent. And on the other hand, there's a big push for more public awareness. We need to educate people, right? Make safety part of the culture. So you've really got 2 totally different ways of thinking about this. Enforcement, that's a top-down approach, right? It's all about rules and penalties from the outside forcing people to change. But awareness, that's a bottom-up solution. The idea is to change things from the inside out through education, trying to build a real culture of safety.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? When you're facing a problem that is this constant, this tragically predictable, what has to change? Is it the rules or is it the people? Perhaps the real answer is, of course, a bit of both. But figuring out that balance, that's the real challenge, and it's the one that's still there long after the headlines about this tragedy have faded away.